So you're thinking of nose surgery? Let me get that right. You're thinking of going under the knife, under these bright lights, to have your nose straightened? Well, I'm going to be telling you about that because I'm thinking of something like that. Now, maybe you don't want to get your nose straightened, but you do want to have a nose job. Thinking of a nose job, thinking of a rhinoplasty? Why? The first thing I need to ask you is, why do you want to get a nose job? Why do you want to fix your nose? I know what it's like living with this nose. And now I'm drinking a cup of tea. And I want to tell you something interesting. Having this nose ruins my life. When I was younger, I even remember, right now I'm be 18 soon. When I was 13, literally, my mum used to make these delicious salmon bagels. So think about a beautiful thick piece of bread, and on it would be delicious pickles and some cream cheese. I had that every single day for school lunch. But as I was developing, it wasn't an issue, but because my nose was still small and I wasn't having real issues. But now that I've developed and I've gotten older and bigger, with my nose and nasal cavity increasing in size, every time I have bread, I can't explain it. It doesn't matter if it's a bagel that my mum loves to make, or if it's just having oats or cereal. I can't breathe. Even now, and every second I'm blowing my nose. I've said this at length before in the past, but at the end of the day, when I have bread, I remember, this is 2 weeks ago, I had bread. I was a chicken wrap, and the whole day from lunchtime all the way to the time where I went to bed, sniffing and moving my nose is terrible, because I also have a deviated septum, and when I tried to sleep, I wasn't able to sleep. I would sleep and then wake up, and I would always wake up with a terrible headache. Even sometimes now I do, with a terrible headache because I can barely breathe. It's like, in school we would do swimming and we would train every morning between 5 and 6 in the morning. It was freezing cold, pitch black, and with the pool, it was still dark and there was no sun, it was freezing. And I remember for the first 2 days, I was breathing through my nose. So imagine doing a breaststroke, trying to inhale with my nose. By the end of the session, I couldn't move. I was like this. Oh, my headache is just so terrible, because I was wanting to breathe through my nose. Then a couple months after that, I found out this guy. He's a Dutch guy. He says something like your sympathetic nervous system, because he's telling me about how you can breathe. And that was that day when I decided that I was going to start breathing through my nose. Now, you got to understand, whenever I had flour, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't sleep. And I was going to then attack the problem by only breathing through my nose. Now you can see, my jawline has actually developed quite a bit, even though I still have that deviated septum, which you can see, where the inside of my nose is curved like that. So I was just speaking to a doctor, an ENT. He said, when you have a deviated septum like that, when the air rushes in, over here it goes faster and over here it goes slower. So that actually causes a crustiness inside which sounds disgusting, a crustiness inside my nose. But ever since I started breathing through my nose, and there's another thing which is important, practicing accurate tongue posture, or the correct way of carrying my tongue up against my palate. So if you think of the structure of a mouth, there's a tongue, your teeth, and a palate. What the best way to breathe is to put your tongue to the roof of your palate and stick it there. Then smile and keep your mouth closed with good posture, good back posture, good neck posture. That actually facilitates the growth of the jaws, the full development, especially if you're a younger person, let's say younger than 17, from the age of 13 to 25 approximately. That's where your entire maxillofacial structure is being developed. So that's where I sort of didn't really need the rhinoplasty, didn't really need to get a nose job, because I've more or less found a way to deal with it. I just don't eat bread, I don't eat any inflammatory foods, and more or less I should be fine, so long as I just breathe through my nose with good tongue posture and good back posture, which I struggle with sometimes. But the question now I want to ask you guys is, why do you want a rhinoplasty? If you're a woman, is it because you don't believe you're that attractive? Do you think that you're doing it so you can find a boyfriend, or that you make dating life easier for you? If you're a guy, are you getting your nose job done because you believe that that's going to make you more attractive so you can get a girlfriend? Well, I want to tell you something. Sometimes it doesn't matter. I've seen some of the most beautiful women with fat, big guys. They aren't in the best shape, and sometimes they aren't even that attractive. Let me be honest with you. But the woman might go out with him because he has a personality, because he has that value that he can provide. He earns money, he does all these good things, and the woman feels so safe and secure and loves him. So if you're a man wanting to go find a girlfriend and thinking that the rhinoplasty is going to help you, I don't think that it will. Maybe it will, I don't think it will. I think that getting white teeth, which I don't really have, or straight teeth, would do more benefit than getting a straight nose. And also, how bad is your nose? Is yours skew like mine? Or is yours kind of really like that, or stubby, or something that you don't like? Maybe it's a feature that's a glaring feature, and maybe you're going into sales. But also when it comes to sales, it's more so how you speak and the stories you tell and the life you've lived. I was talking another long time ago about how there was this little boy who once, he was sitting in his house playing video games or whatever, and he heard a loud scream like, ah! He looked outside, he saw it was his sister being mauled by a bulldog. He immediately ran out and he tackled the bulldog to save his sister. Unfortunately, he luckily didn't pass away, but he got a massive chunk of his face cut out. When he was actually interviewed by, I think it was CBNC Live, one of the television channels. They said, hello, this is a young man known as a hero for saving his daughter, or saving his sister from a horrific bulldog accident. Let's hear what he has to say. This little kid didn't really have much to say, but it was his own character, and that's why people listened to him, because he was a real-life Spider-Man. The end of the story, which I haven't said before, is that Tom Holland, the real Spider-Man, phoned this little kid and said, hey man, I'm Tom Holland, I don't know his accent, I'm Spider-Man, you are an amazing guy, you're a hero. He told the kid that he's a hero. So if you think that a rhinoplasty is going to make you a better person, more interesting, I don't think, or even better at sales if that's something that you're doing it for, I don't think that's as important as being the kind of person that people want to be around. That little kid was only listened to because, although it's sad to say he was only listened to because he was a hero, he was only given that respect and honor, not because he was just a normal kid, playing baseball or playing video games. It's because he was a hero and he saved his sister's life. So it doesn't matter rhinoplasty, skew nose, not skew nose. It matters the character, it matters the personality of a person. And I do my best to entertain you and make funny comments because there's a character that I have that deeply wants to be that person who makes others laugh. I want to walk into a room that you're sitting there, unfortunately you might be miserable or sad, and I want to go and I want you to laugh. I want to drink coffee. Instead of being in a mood, drinking coffee early in the morning, it's Monday, go back to work. It needs to be, coffee is interesting. Can you believe how somebody cultivated the plant, somebody sold it, it ended up in a wholesaler, went to a retailer. I want that kind of story to be your story. So if you're thinking of getting a rhinoplasty or fixing your nose, the most important, crucial thing is number one, why? And there's another topic I want to talk about. What is God given us? He's given us a body, and He wants us to be healthy. He doesn't want us to degrade it or eat unhealthy food, I believe. I don't want to speak for God, I'm just saying. God has given us and gifted us a beautiful body that we have. In all ways and shapes and forms, the way everything is. The size of our face, our jaw muscles, our arms. Now it's not to say be complacent and accept what you give. No. There's a lot you can do. If you're a man, you can get stronger. If you're a woman, you can get fitter and improve your physique. There's a lot we can do. But sometimes something like a nose, which is not in our control to exactly decide how it looks, although we can breathe through our nose and do things, it's more so a God-decided fact. So if we're going to put ourselves under the knife, do you not think that that's kind of going against God, going against God's will? That's a question and a dilemma that you and only you can answer. But for me right now, I don't want a rhinoplasty. I don't want to fix my nose, and I'm happy with it being skew because, I don't really care. At the end of the day, I'm me. I make these videos, and I'm just a normal guy. So, actually awesome. You are awesome. Good luck with your rhinoplasty or not.